Welcome back. Right now, coming up on 23 minutes past the hour, and a live look in New York City. This is just a few feet from the entrance to the courtroom where later today the trial for accused murderer Luigi Mangione continues. He's the man accused of gunning down UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Midtown Manhattan about this time last year. According to the court records, today will be another pretrial hearing and will sort out which evidence the jury will be allowed to see at trial. Over the weekend, the Manhattan DA's office released some new photographs. Evidence in this case, it included a to-do list. This is a picture of it here behind me, written by the suspect at the time he was arrested. In addition to that evidence, there's a lot more that they're talking about today, like zip ties, a USB necklace, a credit card, a bus pass under a fake name. All of this information, though, here's the kicker with all of this, was found in his backpack, and his attorneys, Mangione's, are saying that search was warrantless, so they want all of it thrown out. He has pleaded not guilty to all the charges. We'll track this for you here today at the live desk.
From body cam footage to 911 audio and never before seen evidence, the first week of Luigi Mangione's pretrial hearing was full of new developments. The hearing taking place in a New York court in connection to Mangione's state murder case. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joining us, and the hearing was postponed today, of course, because we learned Mangione was sick, Jeff. But the first few days, they were nothing short of eventful. Break down what we learned, what happened in court.
So everything from police body cam footage, that 911 call, and officer testimony was shared in court as the defense team for Mangione, who's accused of shooting and killing UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson last year, tries to block some of that key evidence from being presented at trial, claiming his rights were actually violated during his arrest. This week, a high-stakes pretrial evidence suppression hearing for Mangione kicking off in a New York courtroom in connection to his state murder charge. Among the key developments, a 911 call made from a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
I'm a manager at Plank Road McDonald's out here on the boulevard. Okay. And I have a customer here that some other customers were suspicious of, that he looked like the CEO shooter from New York.
Altoona police also releasing dispatch audio from that day where officers can be heard responding to that 911 call.
We swing down to McDonald's East Plank Road, 407 East Plank Road. Got a call from the manager there. Customers came to her, said that there's a male in the store that looks like the NYC shooter.
Video footage from Mangione's arrest was played in court, showing that officers spoke with him for nearly 20 minutes before informing him of his right to remain silent. Prosecutors showing photos of evidence that was seized, including over $7,000 in cash, a laptop, bus tickets, and false name.
Rosario. Yeah. I ran it a couple times. For some reason, nothing's coming back.
Now, the officers who responded and ultimately made the arrest testifying as well, telling the court Mangione claimed he was homeless, adding, quote, "I knew it was him immediately." Mangione's defense attorneys are trying to block key evidence from being presented at trial, arguing that police questioned him without reading his Miranda rights, an argument former federal prosecutor Nima Romani believes has a chance of working.
An arrest isn't necessarily putting the handcuffs on. It's when someone reasonably believes they're not free to leave.
They're also arguing Mangione's backpack was searched without a warrant, which contained the alleged handgun used to kill Thompson, a 3D printed silencer, and a notebook which allegedly had writings about his disdain for health insurers. An argument Romani tells us has little chance of success.
It's pretty clear that law enforcement could have arrested Mangione when he provided a false name and false identification. And when he identified himself finally, they had every reason to arrest him.
Now, as for what comes next here, the pretrial hearing will continue on Monday with more expected testimony from those Altoona officers. Once the pretrial wraps up, the judge will then rule on the defense's motion to exclude some of this evidence. Reporting for the National News Desk, I'm Jeff Harris.
Murder suspect Luigi Mangione back inside a New York City courtroom just today. His appearance comes 1 year to the day of the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO here, Brian Thompson. Now, a police officer who first spotted Mangione eating at a McDonald's, this McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, identified the 27-year-old in court today. That officer showed up after a McDonald's manager called 911 to report that Mangione looked like the suspect in the Thompson shooting. Here's a portion of that critical 911 call.
I have a customer here that some other customers were suspicious of, that he looked like the CEO shooter from New York. Okay. So they're just really upset, and they're like coming to me, and I was like, well, I can't approach him, you know. No, of course not.
Mangione's attorneys now trying to get some critical evidence thrown out at trial, including the alleged murder weapon and Mangione's journal. They are now arguing the evidence seized was unlawfully seized from his backpack without a warrant during his arrest. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to both state and federal charges. Let's go out live to New York City now tonight, where Luigi Mangione appeared in court for a pretrial hearing in hopes of getting key evidence in his case tossed out. His attorneys now arguing that evidence was recovered illegally during a warrantless search of the suspect's backpack when he was arrested for allegedly shooting and killing UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. They are now requesting his diary entries and a 3D printed gun be tossed in the case from the Pennsylvania state side. Mangione was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania, at a McDonald's there nearly 1 year ago, back on December 9th. They now argue that evidence was recovered illegally during that warrantless search of the backpack, which the prosecution now denies. A slew of supporters, you see them here gathering outside the courthouse in New York City today, including this truck here blanketed with an LED sign touting Fifth Amendment rights next to Mangione's photo. Mangione also facing a separate federal death penalty case.